Hi, welcome to Cherie's weight loss journey. Okay. I have to give a report about yesterday, right? Yesterday, I was tired. Right? I had did 10,000 steps at work, and I did not walk extra. Okay? I did not. However, I did stick to the diet plan I had. I'm proud of myself because of that. Because I was so tired, of course, my automatic response was, I'm tired, I need to eat. I'm sore, I need to eat. I'm happy, I need to eat. I'm sad, I need to eat. Right? Okay. So anyway, I'm on my way to work again today, and I did my light weights workout that I do. Did not go for a walk. Nope. I cooked me some eggs and sweet peppers and hot link, to eat. I did not add any vegetables to it at all. I did not. I made me a protein shake for breakfast. And for my second break, I made a salad. And this time I left out the tuna. The tuna was good yesterday. The only thing that I didn't like about the tuna was I just kept smelling the tuna for the rest of the afternoon. And I'm like, no, I don't like that, right? So I'm going to have to figure out a way to make the tuna without the smell, okay? I'll probably look online and see, different recipes that they have. I guess, if I had mixed it up at home with lemon juice and mustard, I probably could have, avoided the smell or lessened the smell to a certain degree. Today I was having flashbacks. And some of the flashbacks that I was having was when I was involved with, a person that I didn't know that was on drugs because they were using pills. And when I found out, of course, they explained to me, they had this injury, then they had that injury, then they had this car accident, then, another accident. And it was like, they were addicted to pills. And they liked other drugs too, mind you, right? They won't tell you that. They do. They like other drugs. They like partying with people on drugs. And when I was going back and and I'm telling people, that I know, having conversations, I did not know, and I was warned, don't mess with that person, leave that person, this is more than you can handle, right? And I was like, yeah, I can handle it, no, I can't handle it, right? I'm not gonna handle it. I know you're right. I know you're right. And so anyway, when I tell this guy, I just can't handle this, I'm telling you, this guy fell to his knees and was crying like a baby. There was real tears. It was a waterfall of tears falling out of his eyes. He was loud, and I'm like, I'm embarrassed and there's nobody but you and me in the house, right? And he's like, don't leave me behind, please, please, don't leave me behind. And so, I said, look, you have to help yourself. No, I need your help. I need your help. And I promise you, I'll get off drugs. I promise you. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to try to intervene on this person's behalf, right? So we go to NA, we go to AA, he doesn't want to share, we're just sitting there, he's eyeballing everybody, talking with people, right? As if I don't know, like, man, you're playing a game, you're trying to make all of these connections, but he thinks I'm stupid and naive, right? And I'm like, it's gonna be your ass, not mine, right? And then, this is all nonverbal. Well, if it's my ass, I'll deal with it. Okay, I'm like, cool, you deal with it. So this is the same person that was like, I will never take you anywhere and not bring you back. I swear to God, I will never take you anywhere and not bring you back. Right? And so, to me, that was his way of saying, he's somewhat safe. Okay? So, the drugs were starting to catch up with him. And the outrage episodes were increasing. And I'm like, oh, I did make a mistake, right? I did make a mistake. And so, it had to come to a point where I was like, look, I'm not even going to talk to you unless you go into rehab. It's that serious. And he didn't think of it as serious. He didn't. But for me and the circumstances that was happening around me, in my house, in my neighborhood, the finances and stuff, the time, the effort, it was all, weird, right? And, his safety net was, he could fall back on, disability. Okay? I guess they give disability to people, who have certain injuries. Yes, he had certain injuries. They also give disability to people who are bipolar. Yes, right? Drug use can make you bipolar. Okay? And, have flashbacks of, delusional, episodes. And, they don't care if they're dramatic. And I remember having conversations with this person, and I said, look, who do you think pays for, you to get disability, and, he was like, the government. I said, well, who pays the government? The government can make its own money, I said, no, they don't just, just make money, It's the taxpayers that put into a fund, and they create dollar bills, to fund the government and, government projects. Right? And, it was like, it made sense to him. It did. But, it made sense in a weird way, because he was like, yeah, I'm a thief, right? And so it just made him feel better that now he came to the realization that he was a master thief, because he was able to steal from all of these taxpayers. Okay? And I was like, no. You shouldn't think like that. This is not good thinking. You have to rewire your thinking. Right? You're too old to be thinking like this. Okay? And he was like, what, do you mean to tell me I shouldn't be on disability? If they give it to me, I'm going to take it. I'm like, yeah, but you're able-bodied. You can work. Right? When you're not working, what do you do when you're not working? You become a busybody. You're looking for people to party with. When you party, you want to do drugs and alcohol, have sex, promiscuous sex. Stop it, So, of course, it was just a matter of time before I was becoming a mother image to him, right? And of course, he did have mommy issues, right? Because he was an off-the-chain child, right? And his mother, had to go to extremes, to isolate him from the rest of the family because he was so harmful. It wasn't just his blood, brothers, his half brothers and sisters, but also, there was, foster kids in and out of the home, and you could imagine. Just use your imagination, okay? So interesting enough, as bad as things were, this guy was still, had the ability to function. In other words, he didn't mind working, right? Working gave him an outlet. Not only did working give him an outlet, but it also gave him a network, right? He would do lawn work and handyman work, and sometimes he'll do day labor, construction work, and you can network with a lot of people that way. And that's cool. That's cool, right? But the main thing that had really just opened up my eyes was when he said, my godfather. Like, what? Your godfather? Right? I'm like, you're in your 40s. What the hell are you talking about your godfather for? I mean, are we talking like drug dealers? But no, not that way. He was like, these are, you're like people that look after him and try to, help him out. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you have support. You have support, right? And he was like, well, no, let me tell you the story. And I was like, okay, tell me the story. And he was like, they said that I should be a millionaire by now with all of the money that I have blown. And I was like, uh-oh, right? This is one of those people, right? These are the people that, they have so much money that, they're ill-equipped, to handle the money. It don't matter how they got it. Well, it does matter how they get it, right? I know. Ill-gotten money, shall not prosper. Right? So, of course, that was like, ill-gotten money doesn't prosper. Okay? So I kind of knew. There must have been some, illicit business practices. Right? And, yeah. Slip through your hands just like sand. So now I'm like, it's like, okay, you done wasted enough of my time to cut you off, right? The nonsense has to stop. So this guy tells me that he will leave me alone if I give him $6,000. I said, $6,000 for what? He said for the time, for being here, for, anything that he ever done for me. And I was like, I don't even have $6,000. And even if I did, I wouldn't give it to you. Right? And he was like, well, I ain't leaving until I get ready then, right? And I was like, oh, gee, this doesn't sound good at all, right? So, I dialed 911, and, he already has it timed. He's been through this, it's not his first rodeo, right? He just about knows, police response time. He knows how to behave in front of the police. He knows how to identify with the police. Misogynistic patriarchy. He knows these things. He's dumb but very smart when he needs to be. So, of course, he's talking to the police in a very calm manner. Not the way he was talking to me, but he's talking to the police in a very calm manner, telling them that he just made me upset, that, we was going to work this out and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, no, I just want him to leave, just get the stepping and don't come back no more. Right? And, so he leaves, right? He leaves reluctantly, right? He doesn't leave willingly, but he wants to, leave like he's doing it of his own accord, not because he was told to, right? So he really has an authority issue, right? Because he's trying to impose authority where he does not have authority. Okay? And so of course, there was some stalking tactics, right? And pulling up behind me and trying to intimidate me, stuff like that, following me if I was, on a date, and it was just like, man, you need to get a life, right? Going around to the neighbors, telling them, oh, have you seen Cherie? I'm worried about her, and that wasn't the case at all. He was fishing for information. He was just driving himself crazy, trying to be clever. Okay? So, a couple of times, the neighbors were like, hey, how you doing? I'm great, and at that time, I was still trying to adjust and, recover from, this whole thyroid absence, the absence of my thyroid and the fluctuations of my blood and, and the importance of having to take my medication every day at the same time on an empty stomach. Okay? So, and it's just like I said, this whole thing, really developed because this person, is ingesting pills. Pills is some of the hardest things to detect, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why it's his drug of preference, is because, pills are the hardest thing to detect, right? Everything else, has a smell if you smoke it. Even alcohol, when you drink it, it has a smell, and, but, pills, they go pretty much undetectable, except, you appear to be acting differently. So a lot of people may say, they can tell when people are on drugs, and I'm like, yeah, but you haven't experienced the gaslighting of a pill popper, right? And these people aren't taking volumes. No, they're not. Okay? So that was the flashback that I was having, because it was very traumatic. It was a traumatic situation. It was like worse than being with an alcoholic. And yeah, but pill poppers, they'll also abuse alcohol. This guy would wake up and Sunday morning, and he would go and get him, a pint of 40 ounce, of beer. And I'm like, really, for breakfast? It's like, well, you ladies do this too, when you go for your brunch, and I was just like, yeah, I guess they do, but I thought I discussed that I didn't want, anybody that drinks, So that was one of the things I was thinking about, and it was just really, 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 weighing on my mind. Because, I was hurt really bad, during this situation. Okay? And, it could have ended really, really bad. Okay? Because, when, you're trying to set boundaries and they're trying to break your boundaries, it becomes a power play, and then, it could end really, really bad. So, yeah. Today I brought with me another salad and egg whites and hot link, and presently drinking, a protein drink that I had to blend in the blender. This one is not as bad as some of them that I've tasted that just tasted chalky, right? But it's not smooth like, like Atkins, smooth and satisfying. So I just had to let you know I did not walk this morning either, right? I figure if I have some energy after work, I will, take a walk, this evening. Now, I will make associations with being addicted to drugs is similar to being addicted to food. Okay? Because they're, addictions, are similar, right? First, they're used as coping mechanisms. Then they're used as self-medicating mechanisms. And now, it's so habitual that, you become excessive. And eventually you go into overload. And it starts to break you down. Okay? So, I'm glad that, I was able to, put the brakes on myself. In regards to putting myself on a diet journey, because it will serve you better to do it yourself than to pay experts, to try to convince you to do it yourself, or to get a surgeon, to try to cut these parts off of you, or make your stomach smaller, or stick a balloon so you feel full, and and I'll tell you, I've been some places, and co-workers that told me, oh, before I get fat, I'll go on a crack diet. I was like, what? You go on a crack diet? Like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. I guess they're self-medicating, So anyway, I remember back in the day, before they started doing a lot of surgeries, they used to give people pills to suppress appetites and and help them lose weight. I don't know why they don't really do that today. I guess because there's more money and surgery, and everybody's pockets get full. I don't know. Yeah, that's something I really was thinking about. Was there was a time I remember that people were giving medication pills, right? To lose weight. And sometimes when I'm watching TV, there's a commercial that will come on, like him, her, whatever, right? And these people, would give themselves injections, right? They're giving themselves injections, to help them lose weight. And I was just like, wow, wow. So the best thing to do is, is to be conscientious about what you eat. That's the best way And that's what I'm trying to do. Because I don't usually like to cook in the morning before I go to work, right? I usually would prefer to make it the night before, and that way I won't have to worry about cooking and preparing, but I did not do that yesterday. So I, thought about, do I really, want to just grab a couple of hot links and call it a day? And the answer was no. Go ahead and make you some breakfast, right? And at first, that's all I was gonna take was just the breakfast, the eggs and sausage. But in the back of my mind, I was like, you know what? Just make you a salad. You don't have to put the tuna in there. You don't have to put the tuna in there. You can eat spinach salad without the tuna. So that's what I did, right? Spinach salad with a boiled egg. And I grabbed a topper from an old salad that I had prepared with bacon bits and cheese and dressing, and beautiful. Yeah, that's all you need. Okay, so amazingly, yesterday, I did not have the pain in my feet because the swelling has gone down. Yes, I did not have to take my shoes off, not once. They did get a little heated. But I didn't have to take, my shoes off and rub them down. So that's another reason why it's worth losing weight. Because, like I said, you never know the pains that you have and the way that it affects your body. So if you're in pain, that affects your blood pressure. And yeah, boom. Boom, baby, boom. Right? Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope, you understand that, the way that things happen to you in this world affects you emotionally. And if you're an emotional eater, sometimes you just have to release the emotions. Thank you for watching.